Realized I wasn't recording the
Oh, you're
beginning
good,
part.
bro.
So you mind just relapsing your experience on the bands you was talking about earlier?
Yeah, so I was in two bands. The first band I was in was called Behold the Catalyst. I did vocals for them for a while. They have some music out, but I don't think it's like professionally produced because we never sent that stuff out. He kind of just did a home recording, and he didn't have like the best equipment to do it with, but we were just doing it just so we had music out because we played a lot of shows. A lot of people liked us, stuff like that. So it was a lot of fun. But then I left that and I started pursuing the rap stuff. And then kind of shortly after I started pursuing the rap stuff professionally, I found this other band called ERRABYSS. It's ERRABYSS. And
Mm-hmm.
that has a lot of music put out. Our top song, I think, has like 100,000 views, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like, and all of that is professionally produced. We send it off to like a professional audio engineer that works with a lot of other bands that were kind of in our scene and stuff like that too. That had some real good quality recordings and stuff like that. So all of that stuff is good. We actually got signed by a company called Chug Chore for a little while, but they ended up not being the best company in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But I won't get into that. But we got signed to them. It was real fun. I had a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, there was complications with the band and stuff like that, so we ended up having to put it down for a little while. And then I started kind of like pursuing the Lil Scum stuff again. And then about 2 years ago, I was like kind of like trying to give myself a new sound, a new wave, and it was starting to get motion. And then I just kind of, I don't know, I just kind of fell off again. And I just
Mm-hmm.
kind of had to find myself um, for a little while. And then now I feel like I've like found a sound that really fits me and what I like to do. And I have a lot of fun recording. I have a lot of fun mixing. Um, yeah.
Shout out to that. And I'm curious. You're not part of that band anymore, correct? You're fully solo.
Yeah, so like I'll go into a little bit of the details. So our guitarist ended up having kidney failure, like
Oh,
pretty
okay.
bad. And so now he's on like dialysis and stuff like that. And like
Mm-hmm.
he is an amazing musician, and it just sucks that the world kind of took that away. Like he
Mm-hmm.
could still like record and do stuff like that, but it's just like a lot of the metal community, a lot of it relies like when you're kind of getting a start, it all kind of relies on playing local shows, meeting other bands that want to help you promote your own music and stuff like that. And for us, it was a slow rise, but we got a
Mm-hmm.
staple name in the local community, which kind of got eyes on us, and that's how we were able to kind of like skyrocket. Like we were on
Mm-hmm.
Spotify curated playlists and all that kind of stuff. But it just sucks that like he ended up having complications with his health, and it just kind of took the music away because we were really at a starting to
Mm-hmm.
peak.
Mm-hmm. I understand, and I'm curious from your experience with other bands and playing in bands, how has that transition over to a solo career?
So I feel like I was kind of like show ready as a rapper, and I feel like
Mm-hmm.
playing in a band really helped me with like a lot of my like social anxieties and stuff that comes with being on stage and trying to like I know it's just social media, but sometimes I still have like a social anxiety on social media sometimes talking to people and stuff like that. But like it helped me get to a point where I'm able to feel like I can promote my music, be in people's faces about it, and like the people who are like going to like it are going to want to hear more or see what's going on, and then the people who just don't care about it are just going to scroll past, and that's fine. Like, that's cool. You know, like, I'm not necessarily, you know, one song might do real good, the next song might not do that as well. And it doesn't really bother me. I just want to make music for, like, mostly myself. Like, I have like a huge catalog of music that is just all unreleased music, because for the last year or so I've just been recording music for myself.
And I'm curious as well. Being a solo artist. Well, I'm gonna start off with this. How you go about, marketing and promotion as a solo artist?
So, like, my best place right now is TikTok. TikTok, like, if you have a creator page, you can use like ads. So like you can go in there and there's a promotion section under the creator hub or whatever, and you can pay for ads, and you can either pay for, you want more engagements, so like likes and comments and stuff like that. You can get more people to view your page or website. You know, there's different ways that you can promote it, you know, more followers, whatever. And there's different ways you can promote it. And like each of them have like different prices and stuff. And it's like, you can either do it by day. So you can set like a week and you could spend like, you know, $30 a day for a week. Or like, there's also options where you can do like a one-time charge for like one day. And like, you know, the cheaper it is, the less views and engagements you're going to get. But I mean, it's worked out so far. With Instagram, I haven't run any ads on Instagram yet. I had a couple pages that I paid to like promote my music on their page. Like I had Hyperpop Daily as one of them, and then Woke Up Fucked was another one that I used, and he's a really cool, down to earth guy. So like tap in with him for real.
Okay, and I'm curious as well. So I only was able to check out your YouTube so far. Are you on other platforms as well?
Yeah, I'm actually on all platforms. My distribution service puts it on like everything: Tidal, Apple Music, Spotify. There's a YouTube topic page along with my personal YouTube page where I upload my music videos, which I just dropped one a couple weeks ago too.
What D&D?
Yep. D&D.
Okay.
Yep. I just dropped that one a couple weeks ago, and I had a lot of fun doing that one. I just every music platform. I think I'm also on Pandora. If you want to look up my sounds on like Snapchat or like Facebook, like if you're making a story or whatever, I'm sure they're on there too.
Okay.
My music's obviously on TikTok.
Okay. So when I check out YouTube, there was only 2 songs available, Big Body and D&D. So I'm curious, how many songs do you have out in total?
So a couple years ago, I put out some like more like pain music, kind of like more on the aspect of like if you've ever heard like Drippin' So Pretty. I guess I could throw kind of like a Lil Peepish. I don't know. I was never a super big fan of Lil Peep, but like Drippin' So Pretty, Lil Tracy, stuff like that. It was kind of like what I did a couple years ago. And so I put 2 EPs out. I think the first one was 4 songs, and the second one was 6 songs. And then I have another song out called Never Change. And that one, I don't know when I don't really remember when I released that one. And then I think after that, the only other 2 I have out there is Big Body and D&D. If you check my SoundCloud, though, there's like a whole catalog of everything I've ever released from start to finish. Kind of like, I just kind of like purged a lot of my music just because I changed my sound so much. that like I didn't want to keep pursuing that same stuff that I was doing before when I was a little bit younger, just because like I try to rap about real shit, but at the same time, like a lot of the shit is a little bit exaggerated, I would say. But like I'm always trying to keep it real to my experiences, what I've been through, you know, past, present, you know, and maybe something that's gonna happen in the future. But like right now, like on all platforms, it's probably just like a handful of songs, probably like 12, 13 songs right now. But if you go to my SoundCloud, you can hear all the old songs that I used to perform all the time. You can hear all the old songs that I used to do like a while ago. So, but it's like more like trap music type shit, like the SoundCloud trap wave
type of vibe. I get it. And I'm curious as well, how you go by releasing music. Is there a strategy to, or?
So a lot of times I try to do it like where I can have at least like a week or two to promote in advance. What I'll do is I'll get everything set up. So like I'll have my track list ready in what order I want. If I'm doing an EP, if it's a single, then I'll just have the track ready. The art, I make sure that I have the art ready. I do all my own digital art.
Okay.
And then I'll go on my distribution service, which I just use DistroKid. It's a pretty popular service. It's not too expensive. But like I think I pay like $30 a year for it or something like that. It's pretty easy. But I usually try to do it a week or two in advance because it takes a little bit longer to get like songs on certain streaming platforms. I think like Apple Music takes a couple of days. Tidal takes, I think, like a week. Spotify takes like a week. So like I always try to have it ready. And then videos, I usually will I'll usually set those up like maybe 3 or 4 days before the release, and then I'll make it on a release timer, so like you can go and you can still like it and stuff like that, but you won't be able to see the video until it drops.
Okay. And how you go about choosing what song is gonna get a music video?
So honestly, a lot of times what I'll do is I have a little like group out here and they all do music. Actually one of my good homies that I actually do a lot of music with actually just lives down the street from me, which is crazy. So but I kind of just ask people's opinions, like, hey, do you think, like, I'll pick like 3 songs, right, that I think that would be good for a music video, because either it has a lot of energy or I already kind of have like an idea in my head of like what I want to do for it. So then I'll like ask my homies like, hey, which one of these songs you think would be a good music video type song, or like what do you think would be the next good video or new tripping over my words, the next good song to release, so I can have, you know, like, because like I don't want to go hard every single release, because not all of my songs are like super upbeat and crazy. Like I do have other songs that are a little bit slower, or I do have songs that are a little bit prettier, and then I do have songs that, you know, go hard. And like for right now, you know, I've been kind of picking the like harder songs just to kind of get that the motion behind it. And but yeah, I just really just ask people's opinion. What's a good song to release right now? And then if that's a good song to release right now, I usually try to figure out, like, I have a couple of different video people out here. Do I want a crazy edited video, or do I want something clean?
And I'm curious as like your experience dealing with a label as an independent artist. Is a label still an option for you, or do you want to stay independent?
It would just honestly all depend on like what they would want out of it and what they're willing to give me. If it was a thing where I could like make this like a solid career and like make it to where like I can be successful in the music industry,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not like, you know, something where it's like, oh well, they want to take, you know, 60%, 50%, something like that, and they want to like, you know, give me this lump sum of money, and but they want it paid back by, you know, the end of like 2 years or something like that, because it's like a 2 year
Mm-hmm.
contract or something. Like there's a lot of things that I know that I got to stay away from. But like if they want to help me, if it's a label that just like wants to help me market my music, make sure that I can be successful in the music industry, make it to where I could change this possibly to like a full-time job rather than, you know, working my 60 hours a week that I be working sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so like, you know, and that's part of it too, is like, you know, I work a lot, but I still find time to do the music. I still find time to, you know, get videos done, do shows, stuff like this. Like I just like the day I dropped D&D, I did a show in La Crosse, Wisconsin with a homie of mine from up there. So like it would really just all depend on what stipulations to the contract and stuff like that. But if it's something decent, I probably would. But if it's something that's like crazy and, you know, somebody's trying to give me, you know, something with 6 digits, but they want it paid back, like I'm not doing any of that. Like I don't feel like I'm in a position where, you know, I could end up paying that back at this point in my career. But I feel like if it's all like a marketing thing, helping me be more successful, where I could turn this into a full-time job and not have to, you know, work a blue collar job, you know, I would
That's
probably do it.
understandable. Okay. And bring it back to your skill set. You mentioned that you do some was it graphic design?
Yeah, so I've made a lot of like logos and art, t-shirt designs, stuff like that. I kind of like, I took a class in high school for Photoshop and I just
Mm-hmm.
absolutely loved it. And so I kind of just went with it, and I've just been kind of like doing my own thing with it. You know, I just started out by like making my own album covers, helping like local people make album covers, stuff like that. And then it kind of started spreading, and I started, you know, making logos for people, for band. Well, not so much a lot of bands. I did a couple, but not a lot. But a lot of like underground rap artists I've made a lot of logos for.
Mm.
I did a lot of logo work for like Discord servers and stuff like that when I used to be like super heavy into Discord and stuff like that. And then I make like all my Lil Scum art that's ever been made, except for I think one of the EPs I dropped a couple years ago. They've all been made by me. And like the one that was a couple years ago, I did make a lot of the stuff on it, but like the actual painting that's in the middle was actually made by someone locally here that I asked to, like, hey, you do some really cool art. Would you be able to make me something? So
Mm-hmm. Okay. And is this like a continued service that you do? Like people can buy like merch and
um
stuff? Or
so
go ahead.
it really just depends. I don't really like promote that I do it, but the people that
Okay.
know that I do it usually continue to hit me up and stuff like that. And it just all depends. I think another thing too is like with the merch thing, like a lot of people don't know that I like have designed shirts and stuff like that. Like for my band, I designed a couple of shirts. For Lil Scum, like I have a big cartel store. All
Mm-hmm.
those designs are kind of old. I'm in the works right now of making some new designs to put up on my big cartel site. And they're all print to order, so like you order it, they print it, they ship it. I think it takes like a week and a half. Um, but I've got some new designs coming probably next week. But like I've done a couple of bands too. I've done a couple of underground artists. But like honestly, if you know that I do it and you want to hit me up, like I'm cool with doing it. I just don't. I don't really promote it.
Mm-hmm. And is it like is this like something that you build upon, uh, you know, for something bigger in the future, or is this something that you just messing around with?
Like for the music or the graphic arts.
The graphic arts.
So it's not some. I really just kind of do it
Mm,
for fun. It's not something that like I really want to like pursue because I don't think like. I guess if I kept doing it, I probably would get better.
no.
Per se, but like I don't think I'm at a like a professional point with it. Like I can make some cool stuff, but like I don't really think I'm at a professional point with it where I could like actually make it like a sustainable career unless I made my own like clothing brand or something like that. Like
Mm,
that might work, but like
okay.
I'm really not it it takes a lot of time, and I know when it gets to the deeper point of graphic design and stuff like that, like it starts getting like really expensive. Like, you know, if I'm working on a
Mm,
piece for 20 hours, you're going to have to compensate me for 20 hours of time. But then,
mm,
you know, that costs a lot of money, and artists that are coming up, bands that are coming up, they don't have a lot of money to spend on things like
mm,
that. They're more worried about, getting their money into the promotion side so they can keep getting bigger, so they can eventually make more money doing the music and stuff like that. So it's just like, I don't try to go too
okay.
crazy with it just because I just know how it is, especially in this economy, man. Like
Mm,
a lot of people just don't have a lot of money to drop on just like, album artwork or, like designs for t-shirts or anything like that. So I just kind of do it for fun. I mean,
okay.
I still do charge bands and stuff like that if they want
Mm,
designs, but it's nothing crazy. Just compensate me for the couple of hours that I spend on it.
mm.
Um, but yeah, I don't think I'd ever do anything professional with it.
Okay. No, I would just like to ask that for the audience to get a chance to hear where they can support and, buy
Yeah,
your
yeah,
merch.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but I think that was a very good point that you brought up that you were able to navigate, challenges that, upcoming or present at the moment, speaking of the graphic design. Um, so I can understand where you're coming from and that you seem like you're able to do it in a way that benefits you. So I don't see anything wrong with that. Um, and when it comes to your merch, what do you offer in your merch lineup?
So, um, right now I have, I think, 4 t-shirts up and a hat. And are all just kind of like designs that I kind of already had made, but then just kind of like slap my logo on it.
Mm,
But a lot of times, like I take inspiration from like a lot of things when it comes to like making any type of designs. From the metal community, from the underground rap community, kind of like what I like, but also what kind of like is trendy per se.
mm,
I just kind of like take that like trendiness, but then I kind of put my own spin on it. Um, and that's basically with everything, whether it's album artwork. Well, kind of the album artwork. That's just all from the top of the head. The merch designs, I kind of go for the trendy thing.
mm,
Logos, usually you just kind of tell me what you want. I'll try to get as close as I can.
mm,
Um, but for the merch, I mean, the new designs coming out are a lot different than what's up there right now. So um, when those do come out, it'll be like there's a lot more work put into it. I feel like the ones I have out now, right, like were just kind of like fast designs that I made, just something that I thought was cool, but just was kind of simple. But all the new designs coming out are kind of something for everybody. There's kind of like some metal, type designs, and then there's also like, like underground hypeware type designs, and like then there's like also the kind of basic clean designs for the people who don't like all the stuff on it. So there's going to be a little bit of something for everybody.
Okay. Shout out to that. And with your new lineup, would it just be like shirts where you have hoodies?
So I've got like I'm gonna try to get some like the trucker hats. I got a beanie. I'm doing one long sleeve, but there will be like multiple colors you can choose from. I have a zip up hoodie planned, but I'm not dropping it with the next merch release. I'm gonna wait until closer to the fall. Like,
you said hoodie?
probably in September is when I'm gonna start dropping like the hoodies and stuff like that. The rest of them are t-shirts.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. And my last question on the merch: what's some do's and don'ts when it comes to merch? Some gems for the independent artists coming out.
So I would say like sometimes it works, but I would really avoid like making like logo rebrandings. So like where you take like, let's say you take Hot Wheels logo but you put your name in it, but it looks exactly the same. There's a lot of bands, there's a lot of underground artists that do this, but the problem that you're facing doing that is in my opinion, it's not original. You're basically just stealing a design, and some people fuck with it, some people don't. I don't know. Another thing you could face in that is like copyright infringement. That's a big thing too. And I've never seen it head on where somebody like that's kind of more low key gets hit with that, but like I've seen like bigger artists in these underground communities, they'll get slapped with these, cease and desist. They'll get slapped with these big old fines. You can risk up to getting fined almost $1 million. I mean, I'm sure they wouldn't do that to you for real, but like that's the consequence from it. It's just like, if you're smuggling in like fake designer wear or something like that, you can get slapped up to $1 million in fines for that too. So like, I don't know. That's a don't. Another don't is like when you're trying to select the garment, you want to go through a company that has something that has a decent quality, garment, like a shirt, sweatshirt, sweatpants, whatever you're trying to do, that's not too expensive. There's a lot of sites out there that are basically scamming you for these t-shirts, trying to charge you, $20, $25 for a decent, not even their best garment, but like a decent garment for one shirt, for one hoodie, and that's your cost rather than, spending, from the right place, you'll be spending a lot less. But I mean, if you're trying to have something like that's like, like gallery department quality or Hellstar quality or Supreme quality or something, I mean, you are going to spend more money for super high quality garments. That's always going to, but that means you have to sell your clothes for, a price that gets you your margin. I try to have somewhat of a margin when it comes to merch and stuff like that, which, anybody who owns a clothing business or anything is not going to sell clothes or something without making, a little bit of profit. There's no reason to do that. If you're not going to make a little bit of money. But in my opinion, like you just got to pick the right place to go, because a lot of places are scamming you for their clothes. A lot of my shirts are 15, $20. They come on really good garment.
Per shirt
They,
or
yeah, like
bundle?
I don't
Okay.
charge, you know, an arm and a leg, because I know, again, in this economy, you know, a lot of people don't want to spend 30, 40, $50 on a shirt if they don't have the money to spend on a 30, 40, $50 shirt. Me, I'm just a little bougie, so I like a little bit high dollar stuff, but um just the fact that I know it's not just me that wants this stuff, you know, it's not just, you know, people who actually have the money to spend on a 40, $50 shirt. It's more like, I want to make it available and affordable for everybody. I want to make sure that I'm still giving them something quality, but still at a price that they can afford, so they don't, because, you know, there's still, since it's, you know, a print to order type deal, you know, they still got to pay for shipping, you know, there's still fees along with that too. And I think like shipping on a shirt on my website's like $5 or $6. So, you know, if you're spending $20 on a shirt, you're going to end up spending $25 on a shirt for real. So like, again, I'm just trying to make it affordable for people, because it's not just for people who have money. It's not just for people who, you know, can afford the higher dollar stuff. It's meant for everybody.
I hear you. That's what's up. It seemed like you put in a lot of work and attention into like making sure like you able to make a profit and also keep it affordable. Um, that's what's up. And bringing this back to your music, I listen to Big Body and I listen to D&D. Honestly, I think they an anthem for a vibe. I can see this being playing at, you know, parties, college, you know, uh, I can see it being a vibe, and I can easily see it being like a soundtrack for something like Fast and Furious, something like action, car. I can definitely see that. And speaking of soundtrack, I actually have partnership with Jet Production. They do short action films. So they looking to
Okay.
collaborate with artists for soundtracks and even help y'all create a music video. And
Sweet.
then also have another collaboration. Uh, Mason Needs Ladder. He's an animator, so he do animation,
Oh, that's
logo.
sick.
And if you are looking for somebody to create like an animated music video, he's up your alley if you're looking to collaborate.
Yeah, I've honestly been looking to get something like an animated music video or something like that. It's just like, I've kind of scrolled the internet and stuff like that, and I know it's like kind of like, even like the more low key animators, I mean, it's still pretty
Mm-hmm.
high dollar. And like right now, like at my point in my career right now, I want to put money into the music, but I don't want to spend, you know, like $1,000 or
Understand.
more on something that I don't know is going to come back to me, you know, in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you know, like I definitely have big dreams. I definitely have high hopes that the music will take off to the way I want it to, where I can make it a full-time career. But at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, you know, I don't want to spend a bunch of money on one product when I'm not having that same income coming in from the music.
I understand that. Will you still like to connect with the animator?
Huh?
I said, no, I understand that. Will you still like to connect with the animator?
Yeah, of course, of course.
Okay.
I would love to like see, you know, what he can present to the table, like what his kind of
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know really
No, I
the
understand.
word to say, except like, you know, like his prices and stuff like
No,
that.
no, I
I
understand.
would
I understand
definitely
where you're
be
getting
down
at.
to, yeah, I'd definitely be down to
Mm-hmm.
work, you know, but I just got to get all that info first.
Oh yeah, I understand. I was just making sure, because
Mm-hmm.
I didn't need to pass on any information that you didn't want. But after the show, I would pass on the information between Jet Productions. Jet Production is a collaboration, so there wouldn't be any money involved unless we talk about like profit being made off the product. But they
Sweet.
looking to collaborate with
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm
Mason.
always down to
Mm,
collaborate, and I've like I said again, like I've been looking to get like a little animated music video and stuff like that because
Mm,
that would be really 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 sick. But yeah,
mm. No, no, I was just making it clear. Cause like I
yeah,
said,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Jet
I'm
Production
down
is a
to
partnership, so they want to work with the artist to create something.
right, right, right. Yeah, I'm down.
Mason
I'm
is
really open to all of
mm,
it.
all right, but I got you, I got you. Um, and when it comes to Big Body, we gonna start off with that. Can you tell us, how that song came to be?
So I had a guy on Instagram and he sent me, he was like, dude, I really want to send you some beats. And I was like, okay, cool. And then he just kind of sent me his YouTube and he was like, hey, whatever beat that you want, like we can work out a deal. So I was like, cool, cool, cool. And he posts a lot of free type beats and stuff like that. So I was kind of going through them and I found one and I was like, I've never really made a song on a beat like this, but I was like, let's try something. Let's see if I can kind of come out my comfort zone a little bit and try something new. And so
Okay.
I sent him the beat. We made a little deal about the lease for it and stuff like that. And then I was like recording or whatever, and a lot of times like I come up with kind of like a little bit of a theme or something, and then I just kind of basically just like punch in line by line, like just kind of like what I think would sound good next, what the next line should sound like. So I honestly like Big Body was like just a punch in, just everything coming off the dome. I was
So this was a
like,
freestyle?
yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay.
So like, um, my homie, we were at his house a couple days before that, and he pulled up in this like big ass SUV, right? So I was like, all right. We were in that big body whip like last night, and I was like, huh, I can roll with something like that. So so I just kind of made the chorus theme around that.
Okay.
Um I don't know, like, and then I just kind of like ran with it. But yeah, it was basically just like a freestyle, and a lot of times I like for all this new music that I've been putting out. I mean, I don't really write any lyrics down. I just kind of like punch in. So like I'll come up with something like a line that sounds kind of fire, and then I'll think of
Mm,
the next line. And sometimes it might take me a couple minutes to like come up with the next line, but I just want to make sure it's like something cool. Because what I kind of noticed before when I was writing stuff down, like I feel like it didn't have enough character to it. I feel like it didn't feel like I was into it as much.
mm,
When I like kind of just do everything off the dome and kind of just freestyle until I find the line that I want, I just
mm,
kind of like feel like I sound like I'm more into it, like I have more character to my voice, like I do a little bit more with it. And I feel like I have more fun with it than sitting there trying to write everything out and just keep trying to come up with this stuff and then reading off a paper.
okay. So for you, when it comes to like writing, um, it comes off like emotionless or like a bit of a bot compared to you like freestyling.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So like when it comes to like some actual singing stuff, like it's harder to tell. But like with the new stuff, like when I was recording, like when I started recording again, I found myself sounding like I'm singing, but it's like a monotone type singing, and I just was like
Mm,
this just doesn't sound like it has enough energy in my voice. It doesn't have enough character. And
mm,
a lot of my friends said what helped them was like they just punch in. They don't write anything down. When it comes off the dome, you just close your eyes or something and you just rap it and it just comes out more fluidly.
and which out of your songs impress you the most?
Um I would say there's a couple of unreleased songs that I have that are like, I don't know, they have a lot more clean singing into it. A lot less like mixing to it, so it's a little bit more raw, but there's a lot more emotion into it. I'm going to be putting one of those on the tail end of, I guess I'll leak it a little bit. I'm going to be dropping an album at the end of this month, and it's going to have like Big Body D&D. It's going to have the song for the video I'm shooting this weekend. And then it's going to have and then when I do drop the album, I'm going to drop one final music video, and it's probably going to have like 10 songs on it. It's going to be a lot of unreleased music that I've been recording for a little while. Shit, I forgot where I was going with that.
No, I feel it. Actually, I just got a bit of a brain fart, but I'm pretty sure we were just talking about uh your perspective on like compared to like writing and
Oh
just
yeah,
punching in.
so a lot of that music was still written down, and the music that had like the most emotion for me is that song that's going to be on the tail end of the album. It's not a rap beat. It's more like kind of like a indie pop punky, not really pop punky, but like I guess you could put it more on like the like emo indie type spectrum of music. That song definitely put a lot of emotion into that. There's another song that I'm gonna have on the album, which is a very old song that I did, and like again, a lot of those songs that I wrote a couple years ago, everything just came from the heart. Everything that was happening in my moment, because I was going through some stuff, and I just kind of channeled it into music. And so a lot of those songs just like really impressed me, because it was, not just the flow and the sound of my voice, it was also the words and the stuff. And I feel like a lot of that stuff could be relatable to other people that are going through similar things and stuff like that. Eventually I'll probably end up dropping all that music on like, just kind of like something like, hey, these are the lost, like the Lil Scvm lost files or something like that. But I feel like now I use my voice more like an instrument. I'm not trying to spit the craziest bars or anything like that. I'm just trying to like spit something that sounds good, that sounds like something that runs with the beat. And then like when I mix it, I try to have an underground mix along with having it also be mixed in well with the beat and stuff like that. So like, again, like I'm not trying to spit the craziest stuff. I'm just trying to make something that sounds good and that sounds good to me. But obviously I'm still choosing things that are catchy and stuff like that when I do make the music. But again, like I use my voice now more like an instrument than I do trying to like go crazy spitting like the craziest bars that you ever heard or something like that.
Okay. And how you came up with your name? What's the backstory of that?
So when I first started rapping, when I first ever started rapping, I had a couple friends that I was rapping with, and this was like back in the OG SoundCloud days, before like Lil Tracy and all them were famous, before Ghosty Mane was famous. Like I knew Ghosty Mane like on Facebook and stuff like that and online before he got famous. But I used to be called Savage Boy, which is really cringe. But that was just a cool thing at the time. And so but I had all the people I rapped with in that community, I started a group called Team Scumbag. And the whole like scumbag scum thing was like really cool then. So I had made that group, and then I'm gonna just be honest, when I was Savage Boy, I was ass. I was complete ass. you know, people hyped it up. I guess it was cool to the original SoundCloud scene or whatever, but I was ass. So like when I rebranded myself, I was like the whole scum thing is just kind of part of my thing. Everybody knew me. You know, I had Team Scumbag merch that I would wear everywhere. Like people just knew me for the scumbag thing. So I was like, well, when I rebranded myself, I was like, yeah, I'm going to take this and I'm going to become Lil Scvm. And so that's just kind of how I came up with my name. Is I had a group called Team Scumbag and everybody just kind of knew me for the scumbag thing. So, and what's crazy now is like a lot of my friends and stuff like out in this community and stuff like that, they all kind of know me as, you know, Lil Scvm or Scum. Like a lot of my like closer music homies, they all call me Scum. They don't call me, you know, my real name is Drew, but nobody calls me Drew. Everybody calls me Scum.
Shout out to that experience. And I'm curious, when it came to the group that you formed, is that group still exists or did y'all disband it?
No, so a lot of the people in that group, so a couple of the people in that group just kind of, they ended up kind of going more on like a drug path. I kind of was trying to stay away from that. You know, I've done my fair share of stuff, you know. I've done, you know, like opiate painkillers. I used to drink a lot of syrup, like a lot of stuff like that. I don't really, you know, a lot of my music talks about me drinking syrup and stuff like that. And that's just because I used to drink a lot of syrup, but I had to kick it because, you know, I have a kid now, you know, I have a really good job, stuff like that. So like, I just, you know, I still use it as like in my music and stuff like that because I've had those experiences and shit like that. And I kind of show that like in the Big Body video, you see me with the double cup the whole time because I'm talking about, you know, sipping lean a lot too in that song because I'm just reflecting on those experiences. But like a lot of those people in that old group, they just started going down like a path that I didn't want to be down, doing harder drugs, you know, doing shit more often than, you know, like we were doing a lot of psychedelics at the time. And like they just started wanting to get too crazy with it. They wanted to do it every day, you know, I just couldn't keep myself around that. And, but the group that I have now is pretty solid. We've been pretty solid for, you know, the last so many, I don't even know how many years now, but we've been pretty solid. Like I was the one who put them onto shows first just because I had those connections. And then we just kind of made a group out of it. But we used to be called Casket Boys. That kind of died off. We're kind of like trying to rebrand the group. We just don't know exactly what we want to do like with it.
Okay.
Shout out to them. Yeah, I think we're gonna call it drug music, but I'm not sure if like that's like solidified yet. But like again, like on my releases and stuff, if you look under the like label or whatever, it says drug music because that's just kind of what we're going with right now.
Yeah, I will also, my 2 cents, whatever name y'all go with, if it got initials, take advantage of it. Like if you go with drug music, DM, I can see that being somewhat commercial successful. Y'all come with your own way to spin that. But I'm really intrigued, you know, to hear more with the members. Is it like artists on the team or they got other skills aspect?
So, you know, everybody in our group are now like money go-getters, stuff like that. We all do have our own lives, our own jobs, our own things that we do, but like they are all great musicians. One of them's his name's Baby Boy. He is a master at shows now. I literally put him on to his first show ever, and that dude kills it every time. He gets the crowd moving. He knows how to work with the crowd. He knows how to like me. You know, like if you vibing with the music, you vibing with the music. If you're not, you're not. He knows how to just get everybody into it. It's crazy to me. I love performing with him. The other guy, his name is Luray. He's the one that lives down the street from me. He's kind of like slow motion with the music a little bit. He's been dropping a lot of stuff on his second SoundCloud. So if you, I think it's like Luray Archive or something like that on SoundCloud. He has been dropping a lot of music there. He actually just dropped an EP with a collab with me on it. But he's kind of more slow motion with it. But again, like, we're all solid people. We all got our own, like, Luray, he's got a full-time job as well. He also does like crypto trading and stuff like that, and is pretty successful in crypto trading. You know, Baby Boy has his own full-time job, stuff like that. But it's really just us three. We do have a guy, his name is Saint Laurent. He's part of our group too. I feel like us three were kind of like the solid people who really started this group and kind of like brought motion to it and stuff like that. But we also have a guy named Saint Laurent, which I took him up with me to Wisconsin to perform that show up there. And then we have another guy named AJ. His name used to be Baby Santana. I think he changed it to something else Santana because there was another artist that came out named Baby Santana that blew up. So he's something Santana. I can't remember, but he's a cool dude. He's the one who just shot my D&D video. He's pretty crazy with it.
Shout out to him.
His turnaround time was stupid quick too. Like he films a video, he goes home and he goes at it. Like I think I had like a 3-day turnaround. Like my big body video, it was like a week turnaround, which is still crazy to me, but like it was a week turnaround. He had my video done in 3 days.
Damn.
I was mind blown, dude. He sent me a snippet after that night after he started editing it, and he was like, "Hey, what do you like and dislike about this?" I was like, "I really like the glitchy effects and stuff like that." And then 3 days later, he had a full video for me.
Shout out to them. That's what's up. And it sounds like is y'all go to like build a group that y'all recruit, members along the way, or y'all try to start your own label?
So, well, we kind of, it's not exactly a closed circle by any means, but for us to want to have more people in the group, it's got to be people that we're close with. So if we make relationships in the music community with people and we play shows or, make a lot of music with them or whatever, and we create that relationship, I mean, I feel like they would be okay to be in the group, but it has to be kind of like a mutual respect between everybody in the group. Like, I can't just be homies with somebody and just be like, yeah, they want to join the group when nobody else knows who that is. So like, I have a homie from Texas. His name is Cash Cody. You can find him on all platforms too. He's part of our group too, but he's all the way in Texas, but we're like real close with him online we like, me personally, I talk to the dude every day. He's like one of my best friends for real. But like I've never, like I'm planning on going to Texas soon to go hang out and whatever, but like I've never met him in real life. I've only known him off of like Discord and doing music and stuff like that, and like we've done a lot of stuff, between Discord and gaming and music, and like, I feel like I kind of help motivate him to get more into like, because like I feel like when we first started doing music, like we were just kind of doing it for fun, whatever. He was just having fun with it, but I feel like I was the one who got him to be more serious about it, and now he's incredible. So like, and Luray, he knows him too because we're all in the same like Discord chat, like group chat and stuff like that. LA or not LA, Baby Boy, he knows him too. But he just knows him like through me and Luray. So like, but like it's it's not a closed circle, but it's close. We just have to have that real good relationship with you all mutually before we were like, yeah, we want you to be a part of this group.
Okay. So it's not closed, but it has standards or a structure, I should say.
Yeah. Because we want to make sure like that you can vibe with everybody that's in our group. Because, we might do similar types of music, but at the end of the day, we're butting heads on all these different ideas for the group, or we might be butting heads on certain issues going on in the world or whatever. And like we're all for like the freedom of like choosing and having your own opinions,
Okay.
Like everybody isn't going to agree on everything, and that's okay. It's just we want to make sure that you vibe with the group, that you are just you
Coexist.
could, like be a
Coexist.
part of like the vibe. I really don't know how to explain it for real, but
No, I feel you. I feel you. And it makes sense. And if it's working, why fuck up that formula? So let me ask you this then. Anybody can listen to this podcast or come across various talent, even bring in some talent across, outside of the United States. Uh, so when it comes to talent, who could y'all use? They can hear it from you now.
like, what do you mean by that?
Like, like if you looking for, YouTube reactors to collaborate with, if you looking for some sponsors, they can hear it from you right now. When it comes to who you can look to collaborate or work with.
You know, I really like am still kind of like trying to research everything I need to do to like market myself and stuff like that. I really haven't gotten that far into like figuring that out, but I'm honestly open to work with anybody, and like whether you're low key or big, like I'm always open to work with everybody, because any type of promotion, any type of, like because YouTube reactions
Mm,
and stuff like that, that's kind of a way of promotion as well. And like I would love for someone to do a YouTube react. I don't care how many subscribers you have, I don't care how many views you get, I don't really care about all that. I just love to see people give me opinions on my music, like especially if it's like raw, like I love hearing feedback. Like I don't even care if it's negative feedback. Like that helps, that motivates me to be better. Like I want to
mm,
know what parts of the song you liked and what parts of the song you didn't like. Like, oh well, the mixing on this was felt a little off, or I feel like he rushed a little bit on this line or something like that. Like I'm
mm,
open for anything, like blogs, like even if you like, make a TikTok, reacting my music, or making a little thing on Facebook, telling people about what you like about the music or whatever. Like, I'm really open to all of it, because I don't really care about like, how many people see it. I do care about the creator's opinion, and I do
okay.
care about, like what they have to say about my music. And it just, anybody who even like shares my music, shows love or whatever, it makes me feel like I'm all the way up here, even though I'm not all the way up here with my
Mm,
music. So it's a really good feeling. Even the negative feedback is a good feeling, because I know you just took your time to listen to my song and let me know how you felt about it. Like,
mm,
you took time to like listen to the details of the song so you could tell me how you felt about the song. Like, that just makes me
mm.
feel like accomplished in a way. Like, I don't know, like,
I feel
like you showing love for doing this podcast, like made me like super excited. And I know the other day, like I was supposed to, we had to push it back a little bit because I was
mm,
at work until we were supposed to do the podcast, and then
mm.
I was just like super tired that night, so I had to message you the next day to let you know.
No, there's no problem.
But like
But this is,
again, like I love all the any and all
mm,
support that I can get, any and all promotions, any and all love that people show. Like it just feels so good.
no problem. This is what we do. We like to showcase talent. And we bring the underground to you. So right now we promoted about 120 something artists. So if you looking to connect with various artists from different genres to like folk music, rock, etc. We bring the underground to you. So if you're looking to say update, like, all right, what talent is up there, that's what we do for you. Constantly update you on that. And we also give you a space to, use your voice. If you have a message or you do want to recruit various talents, you're welcome to use our platform to get that message out there. Um, and the one we're gonna end up with, D&D. Tell us about it.
So D&D was another punching song. Honestly, it was found off of like just a related video off of one of the guy who sent me on Instagram for the Big Body beat. It was like a related video to one of his beats because I was looking through beats one day and I just found it and I was like, okay, this song's pretty, or this beat is pretty hard and smooth, and I was like, I feel like I could do something with it. And, I was kind of humming a melody to it, and I was like, okay. And then I just started like freestyling on it, like nonstop, like not like a punch in thing. Like I just freestyled nonstop. And I was like, whoa, I think I could do something cool with this. So like, basically I went into my DAW, pulled up the beat, I started recording, and kind of it was kind of like the chorus was kind of like a fuck you to my exes and stuff like that, like you don't want to see me, yeah, I'm balling, like, phone on D&D, yeah, keep that shit on silent, like don't hit me up, you don't want to see me now because now I got a good job, I got money, I bought a house, stuff like that. So like, everything with it, it's just like, I kind of was just like, okay, I'm gonna make a song like this. Cause I mean, honestly, when I was coming up with lines, that's just what was coming out of my mouth. But like, yeah, that was kind of like the whole premise of the song. And then like, like the whole lean holic thing, that's like my past. Like I used to sip like a lot of fucking syrup, like, and it was bad. And honestly, like anybody who's out doing that shit on a daily basis, y'all gotta quit it. I'll tell you, when I quit, I got super sick, real fucking sick. Like I thought I had COVID plus more. Like I was super sick, and like it's no joke. It's in my opinion, it's almost like a liquid heroin. Like it's like you, especially if you like, smoke weed or whatever, like you drink that, smoke some weed, I mean, you're like on another planet. It feels like you are so relaxed. I'm not trying to hype it up, but like it's like a liquid heroin, man. Like it's dangerous. Like if you're able to like, keep it to like, oh, I'm only going to do it like every so often, when I party or whatever, like that's to your own discretion. But like a lot of people, they get into it and then they can't stop.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad for you to be honest and to share that, especially your experience. So I think it opened up the door, for anybody that's going through it or curious about it. They get to see it firsthand, and you're being real about it. You're not even lying. So I think this is pretty good. Even with the little bit of details that we got on the podcast as well, I think that helps to dive into having that conversation. For anybody that need it. And, what advice would you have for somebody that's struggling and need to take 2 step away from it?
Honestly, like my biggest thing is like, everybody's different. Everybody, like for me, when I notice something is like becoming like a real bad problem, I usually can set it down and walk away from it, but not everybody can do that. And to the people that are like struggling with addiction problems and stuff like that, like reach out to a friend, reach out to a family member, reach out to somebody that you can confide in or talk to about these things, and that can, cause like I could tell somebody to go to rehab, but rehab is, in my opinion, is just like it might help for some people, but I just feel like it's like a prison in there, man. Like you're stuck inside or doing whatever. You're stuck at the rehab clinic or whatever. I mean, if you think you need to go to an NAA meeting or something like that to talk to other people that are trying to be sober, but those things are just so lame. All the people there are just like so depressed and shit, and it's just like that's why I always tell people, like, reach out to a friend, reach out to a family member that knows you personally, that can help you, because they know your personality, they know who you are. They'll be better to help you, because again, they know who you are. And so, and like, and not everybody can just flush it all away, you know, like put the pills in the toilet, put the lean down the toilet, you know, flush away whatever drugs that you're struggling with. But if you can get a friend to help you, whether it's weaning off of it or whatever, like, have somebody that can help take accountability with you for your recovery, for you getting sober or sober off that certain thing. There's a lot of underground artists that are really, really, really struggling with a lot of addiction things, and a lot of people don't even realize that it's an actual addiction. They think that they're just having fun on a daily basis or whatever, but no, for real, dude, you've got an addiction. Like I'll just mention this, like, I do like Netspend, but what I've seen from like his shows and some videos I've seen of him, you know, like there's a video where he's in a car and he rolls down the window, he's playing some unreleased music for some fans that are sitting outside this car, and you can just tell how fucked up he is. And it's just like every single time I see a video of this dude, he looks so fucked up. And it's just so sad to see people, because that a lot of times that'll ruin you. You know, if you're a musician, you know, sometimes it doesn't impede it, but like I've noticed in the underground rap community, like, I don't know if you remember Famous Dex, but like he did a bunch of Xans and it got to a really bad point and fell off. And like, you know, and now he's not, like, he tried to make a couple songs off of the Xans and shit, and like you couldn't even barely understand what he was saying because he was like slurring all of his words. And it was just like, it's just sad to see that like we glorify the drugs in our music, but at the same time, people don't understand that it's a real problem. Like I do kind of glorify lean in my music because it's an experience that I had, and like, but at the same time, like, I don't want you to take that as like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna go start drinking lean, or I think lean's cool or whatever. Like nothing in my music I'm saying like, oh yeah, you know, like everybody, you know, start sipping, like whatever. Like I'm talking about like me having an addiction to it. Like I said, I was a lean holic. Like I had an addiction to that stuff. Like it's serious. Like the whole underground community of rappers, like as soon as they get to a point, or they get to a point of having money, they just want to go have fun and party and do all these drugs all the time. And it's just like, dude, like that'll eventually ruin you, especially if you're not, you know, up here yet. Like if you're still here and you're not up here and you start doing that stuff here, like it's not going to help you, man. It's only going to bring you down.
Shout out to that, and thank you for, you know, sharing your experience and giving us opportunity to interview you. It was great to have you as a special guest.
Yeah, it was really fun to be here, man.
And I look forward to having you back to give you an update. The first round was free to give everybody an opportunity to share their story and you know, their perspective in music. Second time, or going forward after the free trial, there will be a fee. However, we would do a ranking out your music, your catalog. So we would encourage you to keep making music, and we welcome you to use our platform to like promote whatever message, you know, even with like you.
I would definitely love to come back and do this again.
That that. Let me ask you this before you go as well. So you have two options. Do you like this to be a video for YouTube, or audio exclusive on Spotify?
We can do both, where we do both YouTube and Spotify.
Okay. So for Spotify, I have you in rotation with other artists I already work with. So that's going to take some time for it to come out on Spotify. But YouTube should be out. It should be out within 2 to 3 weeks.
Cool, sweet.
Okay. I'm gonna keep you updated. You can send me a cover pic. In the meantime, I'm going to use that as your thumbnail.
Okay.
And I'm going to hit you up with a bio. But before you go, shout out all your platforms, shout out anybody that you want to put on, and then drop a song out of your catalog you want people to tune into.
So I just want to shout out like all my people real quick. We got Larray. He's on all platforms. A lot of his new music is on SoundCloud. Big shout out to my homie Grim Rose. That dude is on all platforms. He is taking the Wisconsin scene by storm right now. That dude shows love for everybody. Big shout out to Grim Rose. That's who I perform with up in Wisconsin. He is the coolest dude in the underground scene right now, in my opinion. Shout out Baby Boy. I've been homies with him for a long time. Shout out Cash Cody. That's like my A1 for this music right now. Like that is my go-to. Like we share all of our music with each other. Like I'm always making songs with him. I got a couple of songs dropping on that album too that's got collabs with him.
Actually, just thinking of your music, one artist did come to mind that I would recommend. He's from London, but he got a unique style, and he's an artist and an animator too. So it's a 2-in-1 package deal. But he's an artist from London. He go by Size SAI S Fate Size Fate. I would recommend him. That's one artist that came to mind while I was listening to your music.
Yeah,
I was
you should
sending
for sure send me like a link or something.
I got you. I send his work over to you. And shout out to the people that you put on. Drop your socials and then drop a song out of your catalog you want people to tune into.
What was that first one again? I'm sorry.
Drop all your socials where people can find you.
My Facebook stuff is kind of more personal. My Instagram is Lil Scvm. My TikTok is Lil Scvm. It's LUHSCVM. And then obviously like you just search up my artist name on YouTube or SoundCloud or Spotify or whatever, and I'll come up like Lil Scvm. So it's LIL space SCVM. And then like the song I want everybody to tap in with right now is D&D. I haven't had a lot of time to put a lot of promotion into it yet. So if you're listening to this or you're seeing this on YouTube or whatever, tap in with D&D, tap in with whatever new video I've got out. But I feel like D&D is the one I'm trying to push the hardest right now. So I really appreciate being here. I really thank you for showing love for the music. This is like absolutely crazy that so many people are enjoying my new music and that I'm able to, at this point in my career, spread my music further and be able to, you know, market myself better to get opportunities like this.
Mm-hmm. And you're really great. I would even recommend, I'm not sure if you do any behind the scenes. Do you do any behind the scenes?
I'm sorry, what was that?
No, I was curious, do you do any behind the scenes?
Not yet. One of my guys who shoots my videos, which is shout out also Saint Laurent and shout out Santana. Santana shoots my videos and he kind of wants to do kind of like a vlog, like behind the scenes thing soon. So I'm sure that'll be happening soon. But for right now, I don't really have any like behind the scenes. Like this is like the first time that people are going to be able to like learn about me and who I am and, about my perspective on music and stuff like that. So that's why I think this is really cool. And I do appreciate the opportunity for this as well. So, yeah, honestly, like the behind the scenes are coming soon.
No problem. Having a conversation with you, I would definitely say you're entertaining. Just even hearing the passion, the story, your experience. And I would say it'd even be a plus to get it with you and your crew. just to see how y'all interact, and especially to showcase that bond, and from my understanding, it seemed like a brotherhood, unless you got some sisters in there. But
No,
it sounded like
it's all
a
dudes.
yeah, yeah. It sounded like a healthy brotherhood that we don't get to see often. So it would
Right,
definitely be
right, yeah.
good.
We all got our own lives going on, but
Mm,
we are still connected through music, and we still, we still find time to, hang out and stuff like that. But like,
mm,
yeah, the music is like what really brought us together and what's kept us together for real.
So I would definitely say I would definitely be entertained to see a documentary or behind the the scenes of y'all just going in talking about your music or your ideas, or even like I believe you are just talking to you, you're entertaining enough to have a just to have a conversation. So I believe
Yeah,
it would definitely be
we
entertaining
get
just to
into
see
some
y'all have
deep
a conversation.
conversations.
So I definitely would recommend it in my 2 cents. I think y'all got something. Just from speaking to you so far, I believe y'all got something, especially behind the scenes and just hearing your passion, your drive. Uh, I think y'all got that in the bag.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm really hoping so. I'm hoping that that like the way we take it now, since we're taking it a lot more professionally now, that it really takes off. I know it's going to take a well, maybe not a long time, but it does take time. You do got to build
mm,
yourself, especially that I'm trying to rebrand my music and stuff like that. Like I'm not rebranding the Lil Scum, but I'm definitely doing a whole different type of thing now, and I'm just hoping that like people enjoy it as much as we do over here.
mm.
So like that's my biggest thing, is just I just hope that it can spread and people can just enjoy the music.
Yeah, just keep doing your thing is showcasing that. I even try out exploring outside the United States. Um, because if you already know how it is over here, we got our own stigma, our own expectations and shit. But the same can be said across, outside the United States. They don't
Right.
necessarily know, who is this a label, who is signed, who's a star or not. They're just going to judge off of talent. So take
Right, right.
advantage of
Yep.
it. hmm Take advantage of it. Especially, I believe that's what all artists want, is a global audience. So you could definitely get started on that now.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. It's just like,
Mm,
with working full time and working a lot of hours and stuff, I kind of got to balance
mm.
everything. So like
No, I
it
feel you.
takes a
I
little
feel
longer
you.
to like get the ball rolling and get
Mm,
things like set up, and trying to get things
mm,
like finding new ways to market stuff and new ways to
mm,
promote my music and stuff like that. But I know it'll come
mm.
as I keep pushing this music.
No, I feel you. I would say, like, especially on like TikTok, like we able to change the locations, right? So with
Yep.
the locations, each location is going to bring you an audience, guaranteed. So even with like, I would recommend testing out your older music because it's going to be new to somebody, right?
Yeah.
Uh, so I would recommend testing out your music that's already out. Just try changing up the location and see like what attention it is going to gather. And then that way, I want my 2 cents on that. If you capitalize on gaining attention in, let's say, Mexico or, you know, Japan or some shit, collaborate with a local artist in that area. That way, that could bring, more attention to you.
Yeah, there's been a couple of actual artists from the UK that I've been like kind of lower key artists that I've been fucking with a lot. So like
Mm,
I've been trying to I probably should see if like the UK will fuck with my music too, type shit. And like
mm,
um but yeah, I think that's a really good idea. I never really thought about
mm,
like putting like the location and stuff on the TikToks, cuz
mm,
that's another really good marketing move to see like what areas really like that type of music and what don't. And then that's when I can like decide like, oh, like if there's like a show there but they didn't, but that place didn't really like my music but this place did, like,
mm,
it's a way to, yeah, it's a really good marketing technique.
Especially if you want to get your foot in the door of other underground like communities and shit.
Yeah.
especially like communities outside the United States. At first, when they hear your music, they can only judge it off of talent. Like, all right, is this person entertaining? Is this person good? I'm fucking with them for a little bit. And now imagine if you collaborate with somebody local in the area. Like, whoa, I just heard this guy. Oh, he's showing love to local artists here. It really shows like a different perspective from the locals. So they might already just be willing to jump, to support. Cause like to them, they might see that as like, oh, somebody from, the United States is showing love to a local artist here. Oh,
Right,
you know what I'm
right, right.
saying? So it's definitely a lot more potential compared to like doing that in the United States. Cause like I said, we got our own stigma, our own expectations, but in these other areas, it's much different. It's a different playground. It's a different battlefield. So they got their own rules of what they might, consider, supporting or considering like, or what is, for example, like talent. They would consider a talent as someone being a superstar. Just simple as that. They don't need no actor, uh, some bullshit drama on the news or, they don't need the extra shit. They're just going to judge the talent and just be like, all right, that's a superstar. But in America, we need more beyond, just the person just showcasing their talent. We got to see their
Right,
life.
right,
We
right.
got to, see who they with. Compared to like outside the United States, they don't need all that extra shit. So I would definitely say, I'm looking forward to like how will your sound mix or what will it look like expanding. Um, so I think you definitely got potential, especially if you're sound of music. And if I was going to recommend an area to try out your music, I would say Japan, honestly. Like even
Honestly,
with
I really want to take a trip out to Japan.
mm,
They have a lot of like different stipulations than the United States. So there's a lot of like
mm,
workarounds I got to find to like do certain things. Like one thing, like I'll just be honest about is like I vape a lot, and
mm,
they don't like vapes. They consider them a medical device for some reason. So like there's just like little
mm,
things that I'd have to figure out while I'm there. Like
mm,
stuff like that. But like I'm also a big Bape head, so like I have a lot of Bape merch and stuff like that. So and they have they actually just opened up a store in Chicago, which isn't too far from me. But like I really want to go to Japan, and like their Bape store has like
mm,
things in cases that encase the history of it and stuff like that. And I'm really big into like the shoe community and stuff like that too.
mm. Yeah, their
I did
fashion is different.
Yeah, like and their shoe market's a little different over there too. Like you can get some of the high dollar shoes for for a little bit cheaper over there
Mm,
too. They have like a lot of like fashion and shoe and clothing conventions and stuff out there too, and just like I don't know, like Japan just seems like a really cool place to visit too because it's just so much different and
mm.
yeah.
And the reason why I recommend Japan, I think the way how they do their bass will really complement your sound. Like even with Ski Mask, Slurp God, the
Yeah, yeah,
Shibuya
yeah.
song, yeah. Like the way how that gave a compliment to his flow was like very. It was like nostalgia, but a bit different. It was something fresh, but
Yeah.
also felt familiar. Um, and hip hop is growing within that community. So they already, expanding, growing, and looking for other reference or recommendation when it comes to like, hip hop. So I see that as like a perfect opportunity to showcase, your
Yeah,
music down there.
I've noticed Japan is like really tapped into like the underground in like any sense, like whether it's like metal music or rap music or emo music or maybe not so much country because country is kind of like an American thing, but like
Mm-hmm.
they're pretty tapped into a lot of the like real underground music. Somebody that used to book my band, he's in a project that just got signed by a record company like last year, 2 years ago, and they did some shows out in Asia, and I think like some of them sold out, and I think one of them was the Japan show.
Actually, all right, yeah, I'm gonna send you my link. I have a few artists that come from like different parts of like Asia, um and Bank is like one of them. But I'm going to send you their links after this. Um, but like I said, you definitely got something, and I'm looking forward to. Even when it comes down to like I said, when it comes down to like soundtracks, you got more of a power hold when it comes to, I want to say, like action, body movement. Just when I hear from Big Body and D&D, that can be easily used for action movies. So even collaborating with like indie films, people that's trying to come up in the film industry, you know,
Yeah, that would be sick.
mm, you got a power hole when it comes down to like soundtracks. So, these indie films, or like indie, production and type of entertainment, you already got like a power hole when it comes to connecting with them as far as like soundtracks or whatever. Um, so I would definitely say you definitely, from what I just heard from Big Body and D&D, that sound, I definitely say it got a good foothold when it comes to like action films. I can
Yeah,
see
that
Big
would
Body
that
be playing on Fast and Furious.
yeah, that would be super sick. Like
Mm,
even just like on the indie films, like that would be so cool. Like I wouldn't know where to start with that.
mm. No, I feel well, the good thing with the internet, we all collaborating. Well, I mean, not all collaborating, but we all using the internet to promote ourselves. So the good thing with the internet, we're search a way to be able to find. But that would be like something I would recommend. If I find any along the way outside of Jet Production, I keep you updated.
Sweet, sweet. I really appreciate that.
No problem. All right, bro. It was good to have you on here. I'll keep you updated. Um, but have a blessed one.
You too, man. I really appreciate the opportunity.
No problem. That's what we do. And if any of your friends want to promote themselves, they're welcome to use this platform as well.
Sweet. Yeah, I'll definitely send a couple people your way.
All right. Much love. All right. Have a good one,
Love,
bro.
bro. You too.